Hello, everyone, and you're welcome to the Conversation Podcast. I'm Namele Adom, and I'll be your host for today's episode. University life is one of the most interesting in my life as students. It comes with new friendship, new relationship, new independence, and new experiences. But do we always talk about when these relationships fail or do not work out? That is why our topic for today is a very interesting one, which is heartbreak on campus, a surviving guide to moving on without dropping out. Heartbreak can be mentally exhausting and highly destructive. Yet there are students who suffer in silence due to the fear of being judged or ridiculed. Joining me here in the studio is Dr. Mesa Hom Ajovie, a counselor and lecturer who will be giving professional insight, and Wise Yaira Okan, who will be giving students perspective. So sit back and enjoy the discussion. So welcome, Doc.
Thank you.
Wise, you too.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing, Doctor?
Doing well, and you?
I'm doing
Okay.
So, Doctor, with your years of experience as a lecturer on campus and as a counselor too, how common do students approach issues concerning heartbreak?
Okay. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the question. I'll say it's common. I mean, once people are in a lot of relationships, then it's common also that some people go through heartbreak. So it's quite common. I've had a lot of, if I have to put percentages to it, I'll say about 40% of the cases that come to me as a counselor to heartbreak or feeling broken-hearted from a relationship.
Okay. I didn't know it was so common like that.
Yes.
So, Wise,
Yes.
have you ever experienced a heartbreak before? Or have you had a friend who has experienced a heartbreak before?
Personally, I haven't experienced any heartbreak, but I have a very close friend. He's like a brother to me, and he went through this stage. So when we were all back home, and then we went to the university, I decided to tell my friend that he's not good enough for him, so he wants to move on. And that was beaten and sad. Yes, so I have an experience, not personally, but with someone.
That's also a nice, really sad experience too.
Yeah.
So, Doctor, will it be correct to say that heartbreak-related issues take toll on students' academic and social life? Because looking at being in a university, I came to learn in the university, but some people balance learning with relationships. So, would it be correct to affect their social and academic life too?
Yeah, it's very correct to say so. I mean, generally, we are all different. Everybody and how they manage emotions. So some people can go through a heartbreak today. The next moment, they are eating so much as a comfort, a way of managing the situation. So it looks like they are fine. But in reality, everybody who goes through a heartbreak has some pain. Everybody through a heartbreak feels something that if you haven't been there, you understand. So yes, as students, it can have an academic on your academic performance, on your social life. For example, you may lose concentration. Every time you pick a book to read, you start remembering the nice times, everything that you've had to share with the person, even remembering how the breakup happened, what the person told you, and all of that. You could be at a lecture. The lecturer is teaching you chemistry, and all you see on the board is "I don't love you anymore." But we are locations, and yet you are, so there is loss of concentration. And if a student loses concentration, it means that you are distracted, you can't focus. The issue is that the brain has to be actively engaged to focus on an academic activity so that you can remember what you learned. Your learning and that's usually also affects your time management because life has become meaningless to you. You sit down and then you start thinking about the person. You start wondering, will I even find somebody again? And so there is the effect on your time management. And then gradually it affects your grades. Because concentration, your time management is poor, you have lack of motivation even to study. You pick a book and you're asking yourself, why should I even learn? If this person doesn't want me anymore, what am I doing here? So you don't want to study. And then it affects your grade. And if a student on campus and this affects your grades and you are not managing it, eventually you'll be dismissed. And so your academic journey may come to an end. Not just, but because of relationship breakup. And socially also, it can affect your relationship with others. You may find yourself withdrawing the rest of your friends. I find situations where people are even dating classmates. And when it happens that way, they cannot even attend lectures anymore. So they withdraw from the rest of their friends because they don't want others to see them. And once you are withdrawing, then you are isolated. And very soon you are going to feel alone in your journey on campus. And sometimes some people call you names and all of that. So socially, you feel unaccepted by the rest of the people around you. So yes, it can be that bad.
Thank you so much. That was so deep.
Yeah.
That was so deep. Most know that this is how deep or how serious these relationship issues can gradually degrade and become. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for the insights, Dr. Rita. So, why you made mention of a friend who went through a similar breakup issue.
Yes.
How challenging was it for that friend? Because I'm sure you are his friend and you were close to him, and through the experience, you were seeing whatever he was going through. How challenging was it for him?
Okay. So as our counselor said, you get emotionally detached. And that was the key thing that happened to my friend. Though we're very, very close, he wasn't like communicating to me the way he used to be. So at times I would have to like be an anchor, be a push for him to have this like conversation with me. And then academically it affected him very much. He was a straight A student. When we came to the level 100, he was in his academics. But as time goes on, the time the heartbreak issue came in, he just dropped all of a sudden. And it was very bad because it also affected me in a way. Yeah. So that's what happened.
Okay. So looking at relationship on campus and in relation to academics, what are the misconceptions students related to academics? Most people think that once you're in a relationship, you are bound to fail in your academics because you need to be distracted. Some students also believe that when you're in a relationship and you are on campus and you are studying, you can also balance it. So everybody and their viewpoint. So how do you think it relates to academics?
Okay, so like I said earlier on, we are all different. And some of us can easily balance our romantic life plus our academic life and still pass. There are people who came to UCC, they ended up with a good CGPA in relationship matters. But then when it came to academics, they had a pass. Such people couldn't balance. But there were people who managed to have a lower in academics and a lower in relationships. So they managed the two. So I'll say that if we are talking about misconceptions about relationships and breakups, I'll say that it's a misconception to think that once your relationship ends, that's the end of you. Because that's not the end of you. It's just an end. It's an end to that relationship. It's not an end to you as a person. It's not an end to your goals in life and whatever. So it's just an end. But you can pick yourself up with the right support, move on and achieve in life. And I'll say it's also a misconception for people to think that, oh, it's just a breakup. What is it? Move on with your life. And because it's not that easy for everybody to move on with their lives, it can be a big deal. I know someone who broke up, and for 3 years, the person couldn't be in any other relationship because they felt that was the end of it. So it's a misconception to think that, oh, what is it? Everybody goes through heartbreak. So if you've gone through a heartbreak, there's nothing wrong. Move on with your life. There's something wrong because my heart is broken.
Oh,
Yes. My heart is
very
broken.
much
And
okay.
the heart is only one. You know, the heart is what keeps us going. It pumps blood into every part of our body. So if my heart is broken, then I'm broken.
Yes, you are.
So it's a misconception to think that it's just a heart. It's not a big deal. Life can continue. It can continue, but then it may take some time. It may take a lot of effort by all the people you love. And I'm happy he talked about the support he gave to his friend, because when you get such support, then it's easy to move on. So I would say yes, you can balance the two. But then depending on who you are, it may also be difficult to balance the two.
Dr. Rita, I want to ask
Okay.
so like do you ever experience heartbreak? How do you know to affect your academics?
Well, let me answer this by saying that I have gone through breakups, but I don't know if I'm broken. I'm still asking myself, um, because I think personally, so you see, personality has a role to play. In terms of personality, I I see myself as an emotionally strong person who doesn't just love with my heart. I love with my head also. So when I'm in a relationship with people, though I care for them and all of that, I read warning signs and pay attention to everything that's happening around me. So usually before somebody says, let's break up, I saw it coming and I have prepared my mind for that day. So you say it and I say, well, thank you. And then I move on with my life. Yes, and but from counseling experience, I know that it can be a big deal for a lot of people to overcome the pain from. So the my what I want to say is that personality matters. You see, like the temperament, if we have a sanguine cholerics, they usually have a lot of friends, and so life is quickly moving on. You break up with them, a friend visits them, they are eating pizza, they are eating this, and they forget about, they crack jokes. So life moves on. But then the phlegmatic and the college jokes, this, when they go through heartbreaks, they keep to themselves, they don't about it. The more it's going to be difficult for you to overcome. So personality matters. And for me, I'll say that personality probably helped me not to feel broken hearted, though I went through breakups. Yes.
All learn from that. Personality matters a lot. Olivia, you made mention of some students visiting you and coming to seek for help concerning this heart issues. So what are some of the strategies you suggested to help balance or to support them in their work in
Okay, so
relationships?
every case is unique, but for you to, let me say, a heartbreak, I'll say that it's important that you accept that that relationship has ended. Okay, allow yourself to grieve. If you want to cry, cry. It's okay. Crying is therapeutic. It helps us to relieve all the tension and pain we feel. So lock yourself up in the room, cry. Feel free, cry like you are mourning the death of loved one, because breakup is actually of something. So cry. So I'll say that first of all, allow yourself to be. Accept that that relationship has ended. But as you accept also, realize that it doesn't change your value. See, that person didn't want you anymore for ABC reasons. It doesn't mean you as a person, you've lost your dignity, you've lost your self-worth or something. Love yourself, care for yourself. I found situations where because of it's a lady, she doesn't even want to comb her hair. She doesn't want to look good, because she has lost in life. But you need to take care of yourself. There's a way by which sleeping well, eating well, exercise that improves our mood. So I'll say that take good care of yourself. I mean, don't just let yourself go because Kwesi Mensah or Adwa Menu say they don't want you anymore. They don't want you. Somebody else will want you. So take care of, value yourself, and do things that will make you happy. Do things that make you stand out. You see, when you engage yourself in good activities, you are likely not to worry too much about the pain. See, if you are idle, the likelihood is that the memories will keep coming all still remembering every detail, then you will not move on. Stop stalking the person on social media. I know cases like that, and the person is constantly watching the person's status to see what they are posting. Are they posting boy or another girl, or what have they written? You see, the more you do that, you are creating stress for your heart, for yourself, and so on and so forth. So try to shut the person's life. See, the person has told you, I don't want you anymore. Accept it, move on, and stop stalking them on social media. Feel free to live your life, and most of it, love yourself. And I always talk about supportive friends. That's why I like what he said, because see, if you have supportive friends around you, you speak to them, listen, they comfort you and tell you it's okay, you will be fine. That's enough to keep you going, rather than when you have friends who will tease you and say, I said it will happen. Have you seen that it has happened? Now, who will you work with when you are going to lecture? You know, they are teasing you here and there. So get supportive, get a trusted friend, tell the person how you feel about the pain that you've gone through. Of course, there's a counseling center in this university where we have professionally trained. So it's important to identify a trusted and supportive friend and talk to that person. In addition, get professional help. Come to the counseling center, talk to a counselor, and let's help you. Because like I said, the way we help one client may be different from another, because the way I will cope may be different from how another person may cope. And of course, if you believe in God, pray to God to grant you the grace to overcome the pain that you feel, because that's a serious pain. So you need to pray about it. God, help me to forget this person. And I also say that try to take away the memories. Okay, for example, if every Friday night you were going to KFC, it's Friday. Today is Friday. Today, don't go to KFC. Okay, find a new routine. Find a new place to go, because even if you go there alone, it's possible you even went there with the hope that you go and see the person. And if you go and the person doesn't come, you get frustrated, you get disappointed. Hey, so he didn't come today too. She didn't come. By now, she's with another guy. He's doing this and doing that, and then you are creating more stress for yourself. So avoid those places that trigger the emotions that when you were with the person. If you had to use school bus road all the time together for some time, I'm not saying leave that part forever, because you have to use it for some time whilst you are, trying to overcome the pain. Look for an alternative route, a route that will not constantly remind you of the pain. So you get emotionally strong, you can go back to that route and all of that. But take care of yourself, love yourself. And for me, I always tell people, it's just a relationship that has ended. Your life itself hasn't ended. So pick up yourself and move on.
Thanks so much, Mr. Juby. But Mr. Juby, I want to make something. There are some people that are attached to people emotionally that it's very difficult to break away. Like they try their possible means, everything possible to leave this person, but because the attachment is so strong and it becomes so serious, and sometimes in extreme cases, like it goes overboard that person can even try to others who are close to the person. So how can people guard their and realize themselves that yes, like this person has left me and I can let go of this person.
Okay, so I like what you said about guarding their hearts. We all need to guard our hearts. You see, when you are in a relationship, know that you are not married to the person. It's just a relationship. And in relationship, we are testing compatibility. We are trying to see, is this person good for me? Take the journey to the next level and all of that. So be mindful of the investments you make when you are in, and let me say, normal romantic relationship. Some of us invest too much. So pulling away feels possible because somehow your life is in the hands of the other person. You have, let's say for men, they have virtually become the fathers, the lady paying school fees, you know, feed them all the time. I know one gentleman who tells his friends don't give him enough money. I said, how much? He said, they give me 1,000 cedis a month. And I said, and that's not enough. He says, yes, because of relationship.
Wow.
He buys food for the lady every day.
Oh,
Really?
Every day. And so for
that's so
such a person, if
right.
the relationship ends, pulling away will be difficult. See, when you invest so much, it feels like your life is actually living. So invest wisely. I always tell people that in relationship, love like 60 to 70%. Leave some for yourself. Okay, so that when the person says, it's okay, I don't want you anymore, you can quickly recover. And when you give 99 to the person and all you have is 1%, or even people say 99.9%, so all you have is dot one, and the person says, I don't want you, dot one will not survive
Oh,
no matter what. So you need to know yourself. Some of us are more emotional than others, like I talked about temperament. So if you know that you are very emotional, you see, don't just use your heart, use your head too. Pay attention to the warning sign. They say love, even Ada is deaf, is crippled, and all of that. So when people say they are in love, they are falling deeply, nothing works. Even the brain doesn't work again. So the person insults you, and insult is love. You know, the person say,
Wow.
excuse me, saying I can't. So you're quite happy
oh,
because that person, you know, is romantic.
Hey.
But then later in life, that Kwasia will keep coming up and it will turn into beatings. And then you say you didn't see it from the beginning when actually it was there. So for me, guard your heart. Check how you invest into that relationship. Bear in mind that you are testing each other's compatibility. You are learning from each other. So don't see it as this is marriage. Marriage is for better, is for worse. This one, there's no for better, for worse. We are trying. If it works, we'll move on to the next thing. If it doesn't work, we'll break up. So breakup is also a normal stage in a relationship. So accept it as it's part of, you know, life. It has happened. It's for my own good that it happened because it wasn't good for me, and that's why I had to end. Uh-huh.
thanks so much. Thanks so much, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Rita. So, why is it mean your friend went through the heartbreak? The one who was helping in class, maybe crying, you're the one be supporting him. This support elsewhere, maybe counts or somewhere else.
Okay, my friend, a very shy person. When they say shyness, is very, very shy. So going out to the counseling, he feels as if he's going to speak his private life to someone he doesn't know. So for I'm the friend, and then I'm very trustworthy. He came to me instead, telling me everything. So I'm like the counselor in this aspect. Okay. So he was like, I tried several times to send him to the counselor, but he refused. He said he doesn't want to anybody of our circle. She wants somebody that he can pour his heart out to, somebody that he can get back to in terms of problem and stuff. So yeah, he didn't take the advice of going to the counselor.
But do you that needed like maybe advice to give him, or so like they're fully equipped to help him, because you're not a counselor yourself, also a student who is also trying his possible best to adjust to the environment or the system. So I don't know how you're able to.
I tried my best. And as a communication student, we do learn certain things that would help us improve on our lives. We learn things, ways in which we can communicate with others. So I used that and it helped. It really helped. Less than 2 weeks, he was free of the heartbreak. He bounced back to his academics. Everything was. So I think, yeah, I helped a lot. Though
Like,
I wasn't a counselor, I did my best.
like in what ways? Well, I want to know like some of the things you told him, because we are students, we all want to learn. So how he was able to, with you helping him?
One of the things I told him was maturity is a stage.
Okay.
It's a step. When you come to certain level, certain things have to leave your life for other things to come in.
Okay.
So let's take this relationship as one of those stages. So she's not good for you. That's why she left. So other things will come. So it's making experiences and get more logical insights on heartbreak and relationship. And also, I told him that this life, even if you are going through heartbreak or even if you are going through relationship, be expecting a 50-50 chance. That's what I told him, a 50-50 chance of heartbreak. Yes, because you are not, as our counselor said, you are not married. So there is a probability that you might break up with a person. And then he really, really took that to heart. Now, he's even in a relationship and he's managing that with his academics and then it's going on well. And I can see that his previous heartbreak, the experience is different. He's not putting his all, he's managing his time, the way she interacts with the girl and everything. And it's
Okay, so with what you are saying, like, are you telling students that, like, in every relationship they should be expectant of heartbreak, or they should expect? Some people believe that in the relationship they can never break up. They believe that the love is so deep. Yes, we can never separate. So should they expect breakup or they shouldn't?
depending on how the relationship is going.
Okay.
Some relationships are very perfect outside, but inside it is dangerous.
Battles.
Yes. So in certain relationships, that's why I said it might be a probability of 50-50 chance. Okay, so it's not applying to any relationship. You can be in a relationship on campus and later get married at the end of it. And that's a win-win. But in certain instances, just be expecting a 50-50 chance that it might work, it might not work. Yeah.
So Dr. Ajovi, people say that like people like those who go through break, it comes with maybe self-isolation, self-pity, and some in extreme cases they want to commit suicide because friends are mocking them and people are being judgmental, ridiculing them, laughing at them. How do you think the university can create a support environment to help these students build themselves and come up?
Okay. So well, let me say that we have a counseling center. So let me say that UCC has made a step in ensuring that we are helping students in this regard. In addition, I'll say that we can give more training to counselors and lecturers
Okay.
and hall tutors. They are all lecturers, people who work directly with students, okay, to be more sensitive to emotional needs of students, to understand that if somebody says, I'm broken hearted, yeah, it's normal. So it shouldn't sound like, so what? Everybody goes to breakup. Come and do whatever you have to do. We need to accommodate the differences that we have. So if we can have more training to provide services so that people will learn the art of helping. Okay, like you were asking him how was he doing it. Naturally, we as Ghanaians are hospitable, so we know how to talk to others, to calm them down and all of that. But in terms of being effective and giving this kind of help, some level of training is necessary so that we can understand the other person, we can help them to grieve, we can help them to accept themselves, to move on. So I'll say that there should be training and maybe more education on, or seminars on relationships, maybe do's and don'ts in relationships, how to manage a heartbreak, blah blah. Because not everybody will want to see counseling. Like his friend didn't want to see a counselor, but then if there is a seminar and students are invited, let me say that students, when you hear of such seminars, attend, because they are meant for your own good. Like last semester, the counseling center had a program on balancing your academics with heartbreak, but then students didn't attend in their numbers. So even if you haven't been broken-hearted before, or you haven't been in a relationship before, learning is good for all of us every day. So when you hear of such seminars, attend so that you can learn something for yourself, for your friends. Like he is not in a relationship, but whatever he knew was helpful to his friends. So I'll say that as a university, we can have more seminars to help people to learn about managing. And I also support what I call peer counseling or peer tutoring. If we can do more training for people, students, okay, because sometimes we want to talk to our fellow students rather than a lecturer. The lecturer looks too high. It looks like he or she will not understand what I'm going to, because it's not at my level. But if I know that this my colleague is a peer counselor, so he's been given some form of training, and I can talk to him and receive some help, I can freely go to him and receive the help. So I'll go in for peer counseling, more education on relationship and how to manage being in a relationship, training counselors, lecturers to be more sensitive or learn the art of being able to provide the needed emotional help to students who are going through the challenge of heartbreak. I think it would help. Uh-huh. And maybe, I mean, now we have a counseling center at the old site. I've always thought that it's good to have one at the new site too, at Science, so that it's closer and closer to students. Although there are counselors in all the halls, but just getting closer to students, creating more awareness about the existence of counseling and the services that we can provide and all of that can educate people on where to go when there is a problem. Mhm.
But doctor, most students have the fear that if they go and see a counselor and they tell their personal issues to that counselor, it's going to be exposed. Or maybe the counselor will go and say it somewhere. They will hear that, hey, so this is my case, I told the person from my heart that has been brought out. So how do you think students can not be afraid to see counselors and tell their personal issues that it will be going out for people to hear?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I'm happy about this particular one because I want to use this opportunity to assure students that the counselors we have here in UCC, we are all professionally trained. And professionally trained counselors take an oath to keep issues that clients discuss with us confidential. I want to dare any student who is listening or in UCC here to come and say, I went to see counselor ABC and my issue is out. No, we don't do that.
Okay.
So I want to assure students that under no circumstance will a counselor in UCC here break confidentiality by telling others about your issue. If we have to tell others about it, we'll always have to tell you. For example, if you are going through heartbreak and because of that, you cannot write a quiz, and we need to talk to a lecturer on your behalf, then we are breaking some form of confidentiality. And we'll have to let you know that in this case, I have to inform the lecturer and give him a little idea about why you cannot come and write the quiz. Are you getting it? But under no circumstance, unless it involves your life and your survival, like you are threatening to kill yourself, that one we won't keep quiet. We'll have to get somebody who is trusted to be on guard for us. Maybe your roommate or someone say, take care of your roommates for me. Okay, but we won't tell anybody the details of the issues that you bring to us in counseling. So students, be rest assured, your issues will be kept confidential. Trust me, the issues we hear every day, there are so many that we will not even have time to share them. There are so many. We don't even remember. Sometimes you even meet a client, and the person is trying to remind you and you don't even remember the exact issue that was discussed, because every day you meet about 5 new cases and it's difficult to even remember what happened yesterday.
Okay, but doctor, when you were speaking, you made mention that maybe if a student is going through a heartbreak, that student can you can tell the lecturer that maybe a student has a quiz. So maybe I'm experiencing a heartbreak. So like pardon me, or like would that lecturer be understanding?
Well, if we are involved, the lecture will be.
Oh, okay.
Because see, it's not every heartbreak. Let me correct
Uh-huh.
it. Because some heartbreaks are manageable.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are broken heart and they are working. In fact, in this room, if we should conduct statistics right now, you may see that some people are, as they sit here, they are going through a heartbreak, but they are smiling as if nothing is happening. But some people go through heartbreak and actually they cannot move on.
Yes.
They cannot make meaning in life. They cannot attend lectures. All they think about is suicide.
Wow.
Yes, because the heartbreak is a break to them. It's like it's an end to them. We've had cases of attempted suicide and it was relationship related, breakup related. So some people get to that point where they cannot function well anymore. And for such people, we may have to involve the lecturers involved and let them know that because of some emotional challenges that this person is going through, they need to be exempted at this point. So let me correct it before everybody comes and says, please tell my lecturers I'm broken hearted, so I cannot write a quiz.
And so why is with your experience of helping your friend who was going through the heartbreak, how did it shape your approach to relationship on campus? Because you were there and you experienced everything with him firsthand and you saw what he was going through. So how did that affect your approach to relationship?
Personally, I didn't want to like involve myself in any relationship because of his experience. For him, he placed everything inside and in terms of that. So my approach to relationship on campus is just casual. I want to keep everything casual. I don't want anything to mingle with my education. I don't want any, excuse me to say, drama in any way. I just want to focus on my education and that's all. So my approach to relationship on campus is very, very casual.
Okay. So what are some advice you give to students who are going through heartbreak related issues right now and are watching us?
My advice to my colleagues that are going through heartbreak right now, those who are able to um, like speak out and those who are not able to express themselves is in this life there is a 50-50 chance. You don't necessarily have to make everything perfect. You might succeed in something and not succeed in another. So maturity as a whole is a step, as I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a step. So you have to learn certain things from your past experience. So heartbreak is just one of those things. So please, please, please learn how to move on and confide in your counselor or a trusted friend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wise. Miss Ajovi, so how would you say heartbreak shapes students' academic journey or social journey in the university?
Okay. Yes, I think we've somehow talked about how it affects their academic progress and their social welfare. So yes, for some people it can be the end. For some people it can be the end of their whole academic journey. For some people it's the end of even forming relationships. You see, he is saying because of what others have been through, he would rather be in just casual relationship. I wish to ask him, what if you fall in love? Will you allow it to will you allow it to move on? So yes, relationship has a toll on our academic life and our social life. So I would always say that look at yourself. If you see yourself to be an emotionally weak person, which is not insulting, but to describe your personality, don't be in a hurry to be in a relationship. Manage your academics. Let your heart grow and become strong. because entering into relationship is a lot of work. It's not easy. You have to manage to smile when the person is smiling, cry when the person is crying, fast with the person when they are fasting, and all of that. So it's not easy. Academically, like I said, it can be an end to some academic journey if you don't manage it well. And from where I sit, there have been such cases where the person couldn't manage the breakup. It affected the results so badly that the person was dismissed. The results got really bad. And the person, because the whole year, the whole academic, the person didn't seek help. So the results were affected. This person will not attend lectures and will not write quizzes because, I mean, whoever doesn't want me anymore. So my life come to an end. And so for that person I'm talking about, that was the end to the degree. Of course, I'm sure later they can pick themselves up, try schooling again, and all of that. But that's how bad it can get. It can be the end. For some people, it can be even an end to social relationships. I know people who say, I will never enter into a relationship again. I will never marry because a relationship went really bad. But of course, there are positive benefits to being in a relationship if only you can manage it. You know, being in a relationship means having, let me say, a constant companion where who you can share your joys, your sadness, and all of that with. And life can be hard. Somebody usually talk to like that, crack jokes, that helps to balance, life. So in a also somehow guys, and as you are in a relationship with people, you are learning from them, so you are building your social skills in life, and academic. So it has its positive and negative, but I would always say that analyze your own situation as a person. Am I able to combine the two? If not, I need to seek help. You can talk to a counselor even before you enter into a relationship and say, I want to, I wish to be in a relationship, but this is my challenge. I am very emotional. And when people say ABC, it hurts me. So how do I prepare? Or how do you help? How can you help me to prepare for being in a relationship? And you will be helped. So I'll say that yes, it's positive and negative. So we will not throw relationships away entirely because it has benefits. Mhm.
So, Tarika, from your own personal opinion, who do you think between men and women are more prone to experience heartbreak related issues?
Well, I'll say I'll say both. I don't know who I'll say is more prone. I don't know. I'll say it's both because I've met from both sides, men and women. See, the issue is that women talk a lot. So the statistics from women will look higher because more women have come to cry about being broken-hearted. The men go through breakup, heartbreak, but then sometimes they don't like to talk about it, especially with a counselor. So it looks like from where I sit, it will look like the statistics is in favor of the men. So it looks like men are able to manage their heartbreak better than women. But then I don't think it's a good and fair relation because the women get to report more than the men. Hello, men listening to me. I'm sure you can attest to the fact that you also go through serious heartbreaks. I think that men like to do the boys thing, and so they will manage to talk among themselves and they are fine. But ladies, we are a bit secretive sometimes, and so we'll not tell our friends. We don't want them to mock us, so we rather talk to others. So they will come for counseling and talk. So where I sit, it looks like girls go through heartbreaks more. And of course, in our culture, it's the man who proposes. So usually it is a man who will say, I don't want you. Usually. And so then it's like, and girls sometimes feel he has used me and dumped me. And that feeling alone even gives you more heartbreak. So the statistics, it's here and there. But I'll say that more women reports the heartbreak more than men.
Thank you so much, my guests, Dr. Rita and Wise. So, as we wrap up today's episode, it is clear that heartbreak is not only an emotional experience, but then it can affect every aspect of a student's life. And we've also learned that it's not a sign of weakness to ask for help, but rather a step towards growth and development. And to everyone who said here, I want you to all remember that heartbreak does not define you and not the end of your academic journey. And there are support services available too. Thank you all for your attention and for joining me all for this morning on the conversation. I'm now Amelia Adom, and do have a great day.